so for our first circuit, we have deadlift. Remember, we're in the hex bar. If you need blocks, you can use, we have DC blocks. You can also stack on plates. That helps a lot. It's not gonna allow you to get in that low range of motion where you might tweak your back. If you don't have any problems going from the ground, go from the ground. But if you find this might tweak your back a little bit, this is a good solution. So we're gonna get tension in the bar, pulling ourselves down into that wedge position. Notice how my knees are pretty much stagnant with my midfoot, and then I drive up with my hips. Sit back into the hips. When I sit back, my glutes expand, so they stretch out. I sit into those hips. My upper body is connected with the bar, so that my upper body and the bar are one thing, and then my hips and legs drive us all up. So again, get the tension, wedge in, drive up, sit back, touch. You can re-grip. If you want to just touch and go, you can touch and go as well. So we're going to do 10 reps here. Then, I'm using the RMT club. I'm going to do a sledgehammer chop. You can use a real sledgehammer if you want, if you still have access to that. It's cold here now, so we moved inside. I'm going to hold the RMT club. This helps us with our deceleration also, so we've changed our apparatus. We're going to have a similar motion, but we're going to change the stimulus. So the closer your hands are together, the more this is going to challenge your wrist and forearms. We're going to reach up, chop, up, chop, up, chop, up, chop. Now, the beads in the RMT club give us a little unique resistance, makes us decelerate a little more. If you don't have one, we can do the same motion with a med ball. Boom, up, boom. We can do the same thing. It's a little different because you don't have the beads that swing through and you kind of force that deceleration, but it's still a really good workout. Then we're gonna have a split stance. So we'll do 2 to 3 sets, supersetting those two. Then, once you've done 2 or 3 sets, we're still going to continue to deadlift. We're going to do 5 total deadlift sets. Then we're going to be here, starting front leg on that side, jump and switch, jump and switch, jump and switch. And then we're going to get a little rhythm going, keeping the arms out in front of you. Again, if you happen to have the RMT club, that's great. You can do the same thing, side to side to side to side. Okay? And we'll do 12 to 15 jumps there. Your heart rate's going to be sky high after this. 2 to 3 minutes. You gotta rest on this. 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're back on our deadlift. 5 total sets. A little bit more upright. All right, for our second set, we're going to be on a high incline dumbbell press. So this incline is up a little bit, so it's more like a 70, 75 degree angle instead of the traditional 45. So I'm going to be sitting a little more upright, but all my rules are the same. My legs are driving me up into my upper back. I'm pushing against the pad. I drive straight up and I pull straight down. I press up. I do not bang the weights together. I pull straight down in that elevator. My forearm stays vertical the whole time. I'm active with my legs. And I'm keeping the weight straight up above my chest, not back here above my head. Press pulling down, pressing straight back up. We've got 8 to 10 reps there. Then I'll be on my landmine. I'm going to set up perpendicular to my landmine. Okay? I'm going to set up very close to it. My inside leg is back. My outside leg is just to the outside. I'm going to lower my center of gravity. So I don't want to do this. My center of gravity is still high. I want to drop into my hips. I can put my lead elbow on my lead leg, and I'm going to row. Okay, so there's the positioning. I'm feeling the shoulder blade right around the rib cage. Let me show you from the other side so you can get a little bit better picture of the row. So my inside foot is back, and I'm going to row that shoulder blade around that rib cage. Nice smooth motion. Notice how my body stays still. I don't have a lot of up and down movement with my body. Then I'm going to get my cable. I'm going to step out. If you want to spice this up, we'll put yourself on blocks. I'm going to have my front leg as the opposite hand that's holding onto the cable. So my right hand holds onto the cable, my left leg will be active here. It'll be the leg on the ground. I'm going to just do a hinge. I'm going to get a big stretch in the glute here, and I'm going to stand and row. Big hinge, stand and row. Big stretch here, stand and row. I'm allowed to put my foot down on the ground when I come back in to help get a little stabilization. Keep your eye on the anchor there. Hinge, row back. We'll do 8 to 10 each side. So we have 8 to 10 on all these. The incline press, again, that incline is up a little bit, 75 degree angle. We're going to do our single arm row, 8 to 10 on each side. We want to go heavy on this. Keep that arm tight to the body. Don't have it way out here when you're rowing. We don't want that arm way out here. We We want it tight to the body. And then we have our hinge with the row, and we're gonna do 8 to 10 on each side there, 4 rounds. For our last circuit, we're gonna have a plate on our sliding surface. So it doesn't totally matter what the plate is. I've got a 25-pound plate here. I do want you to try to do it on turf. If you have a towel that you can put a plate on a wood floor, that works as well. We're gonna step out to a lateral lunge, and it's important that when we step out, we load into this hip and adductor right here. And then we're gonna stand up and pull in. I'm not slinging this weight in. I'm not trying to throw it into my foot. I'm trying to lunge, and then I stand up from here. There's the challenge. So I load, and I stand up from this leg here. We'll do 10 on the way out, and then 10 on the way back. Loading up into this groin area, standing and pulling together, okay? So the weight, or the work, is in this short leg that we stand up on there. We'll do 10 each direction. Then, I'm gonna take a half kneeling position. I'm gonna have my hands like I'm about to do a press. The inside arm, the one that's close to the forward leg, is gonna drop down, and I'm gonna press, rotating and trying to work my elbow down to the ground. As you notice, I'm not getting down to the ground. We don't have to get all the way down there, but we're working on getting down that way. I want to keep this knee still. I don't want to shift forward and backward a whole lot. I want to take the elbow down to the knee and try to work on that flexibility here, in that low back, and that oblique, and that SI joint. Reaching here, and coming back up. We're going to do 6 to 7 on each side. Then we will lay down. And we're going to do a dead bug, where we're going to bring our elbow and our knee together. So the key here is I crunch, and I hold my elbow and knee together at the top. Don't hold the inside, hold the top. If you can't hold that, get a yoga block to hold it between you to kind of give yourself a little cheat on that depth. So we'll make this hold, and then we're going to bring our other elbow and knee together. Get long, come back together. Extend, come back together. Notice how this elbow and knee aren't moving. Also be careful not to bring your knee way up here. We want our knee back here, so we have to go get it and then hold. You'll have some rotation here. You'll feel some cramping in your hip. You'll feel some cramping in your side. That's all little. That's what they're trying to do. So we'll do 10 on each leg there. At that point, we're going to get 2 medicine balls. I'd like them to be as big as possible, as big as you can handle, and as heavy as you can handle. We're going to hold them up here. We've got to make sure that we're not going to arch our back. We're going to keep our elbows high, don't let them sag here, and pull your head through. From here, we're going to march. So we're going to take our smooth steps. You don't have to have this big, exaggerated step. And I want to also make sure that we don't have a pause. I don't want to go here, pause, step, pause. We want our gait to be smooth. So while we're taking exaggerated steps, they're smooth, keeping those elbows up, and you'll feel your core have to stop that momentum from you falling all over the place, and also control your forward momentum just of your whole locomotion action, okay? So we'll try to walk about 100 yards, so that may mean a couple trips up and back. So we're trying to walk 100 yards with that distance. So there's a lot of things here, there's 4. All right, so we'll do our side lunge with the slide. We're gonna do our elbow touches down to the ground. Okay, then we're going to do our crunch, our dead bug, we're holding together, and then the opposite elbow and knee move, then we'll switch, and then we do our med ball holds, and we walk 100 yards up back. Keep that core tight. We got 4 rounds here, and that'll finish your workout up. Hope you had fun. If you have questions, let us know. Come jump in with us in person for the new year. We appreciate you very much. Have a great workout.